All right. Hi, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Um, it's the Start Right webinar for us at the Power Woman Network, and we're so happy to be starting right at the beginning of the year. And I'm very sure a lot of us will be wondering what is this about. Don't worry, we have a lot of things packed for us today. It's meant to be a 2 hour session and it's intentional. Why did we make it 2 hours? There's a start of a new year, there's a lot of resolution, there's a lot of I want to do, I need to achieve. So, how do we navigate all these thoughts? How do we ensure we're able to implement? Is the reason why the Power Man Network thought it's right to organize this Start Right webinar, all right? And what is it aiming at? Make sure that you are prioritizing yourself and everything you aim to achieve at the beginning of this year. So mainly prioritizing your 2024, not just saying it, but the ability to be able to do it, the ability to be able to implement, and at the end of the year, you are able to say that this is what I've achieved in this year, 2024. My name is Victoria. I'm going to be your host for today. I'm also an HR professional by profession. That's my day today. And I'm a member of the Power Woman Network. I hold the finance director role at Power Woman Network. And what do we do at the Power Woman Network? Basically, our aim is to just ensure that we are empowering women across different facets of their lives, right? We all can tell that it is difficult for women sometimes to break even in some fields. It is difficult for women sometimes to be able to achieve some feats. And then we realize that as women who are thriving in their field, the best way we can support each other is to enable others also grow along with us. So, as much as we've been able to achieve in our own little field, what we now do is create a network where we can also enable other women, help them to grow, help them to be the best that they can be. And for this Start Right webinar, we have a guest speaker. Her name is Oyindamola Osi. She's a global HR leader, so she's in the HR profession. And a brief introduction about Oyinda. She's a distinguished global HR leader with over 12 years of cross-functional expertise, has consistently demonstrated ability to strategically align organizational vision with HR initiatives, thereby enhancing business performance on 3 continents. That's quite impressive. And throughout her impactful journey, Damola has been instrumental in the development and execution of HR processes, people, and organizational strategies. A proven track record of success is evident in the pivotal role she has played in attracting, engaging, nurturing talent for diverse multi-million dollar projects across Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. So she's a proud MBA graduate in HR from the University of Essex in the United Kingdom. She holds the prestigious Senior Professional Human Resource International Certification SPHRI from the HRI Institutes in the US and is recognized as a chartered member of the esteemed CIPD in the UK. Beyond her corporate achievements, she is deeply passionate about technology and dedicated to fostering the potential and career development of emerging African talents. This passion led to the creation of Career Ready Pro, a cutting-edge digital career resource platform designed to inspire and empower ambitious professionals for the global world of work. As the co-founder of Vamp AI, Oyindamola is also at the forefront of innovation, contributing to Africa's first friendly CV builder powered by artificial intelligence. In addition to a remarkable career, Oyindamola is a sought-after speaker with a wealth of global experience. She has shared profound insights on digital upskilling, career development, leadership, personal development, and the evolving nature of work in over 40 plus physical and virtual summits and webinars across Africa and the Middle East. So, everyone, join me as we bring on board Oyindamola Osi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Victoria, for that introduction.
You're very, very much welcome. So thank you so much, Oyindamola, for taking out time to help us to start right this year, right? Because for a lot of people, even though we all have that wonderful list and wonderful vision board that we have decided that we're going to roll out, but guess what? Today is 27. I can tell you, not everybody has been able to articulate their thoughts
Yeah.
around how that is going to play out, right? So we just want you to, show us the way. Let me use that word to say, while everyone is busy trying to find out in their head, go to different online resources to find out how do I navigate, achieving all those goals that I say I'm going to achieve this year. What are the things I'm going to do? So we have you here, and we believe that the next almost 2 hours is going to be packed with a lot of insight as to how we can navigate, as to what we need to do. A lot of us have come ready with our pens and notepads, to take down notes. So over to you, Onida, and you're all ears.
Thank you so much, Victoria, and thank you to the Power Women Network for having me. So we are going to jump right into the topic. And hi, everyone. I know that I can't see you, but I believe that you can see and you can hear me. So hello, everyone. So we are going to jump right into it, and then so just to give a bit. So I have a presentation that I will follow just to guide us as we speak to make sure that we are coherent in what I'm saying. So the way this is going to go, if you are in the audience, I'd like you to use more the chat box so that we can. So this can be a conversation, and if there's anything I'm saying, if you have any question, if there's anything resonating with you, please feel free to just drop your comment. So we'll start right. Victoria has done a good job sort of laying the foundation of why we're here, so we won't repeat that because of time. And then we will. She also introduced me, so I won't go into. I mean, she did a fantastic job. So I'm not gonna go into that detail anymore. I'm just gonna really jump that off. And then so we will then means that we are jumping right into it. So for us to go forward, sometimes we need to look back. So we will talk about, I like to say, I would like you to reflect on your 2023, even though if you don't want to put anything on the chat box, if you want, I would love it. But if you don't want, I'm not going to pressure you. But I want you to, you have the chance to really think about your 2023. You think about the good, the bad, what could be sort of, well, maybe not too bad, but the good, the things that could be improved, the things that were really good and the things that were great, things that you wish that were better. So you could think about that and really take that moment to do that reflection. And then I'm going to tell you about vision board. What's the first? Like everybody talks about it. I know there was a conversation in the Power Women group. People were talking about it. I didn't have time to really go through in detail, but I know I saw it like in a flash. And then I'm really going to then talk to you about the science behind vision board. That yeah, there's a science behind it, and we're going to really go why for me I believe it with the whole of my heart and with the whole of my chest. And we'll go into the science, and then we'll come to. And after all that, I believe I will have been able to convince you to fully put your 2 feet into the concept of vision boarding. And then we will then talk about our 2024. What do you want from your 2024? How can you set those goals? Then we'll talk about what sort of enabling system can you put in place, because some people tell me, yes, I write my goals, I know my goal, but halfway it just doesn't sometimes just work. And then you will then be able to say, we will then say things that could enable you to make sure that your goals are like they're working, and that vision is going to come to fruition at the end of the year. And we'll talk about discipline and being laser focused, and then we'll come to the conclusion. If there's any question, we take it. And that's how this conversation is going to go. So having said that, so I'm going to jump right back to the beginning, and I'm just really going to talk about reflection. So 2023, if you can take a moment to really just think about your 2023. So how was it? How was 2023 for you? Did you set any goals? Did you write your goals down? Did you do the proper vision boarding? How did you go? How many, if you're going to put a percentage, how many of your goals did you achieve? What was the percentage? Which one don't you achieve? what was just a reflection. So what do you think went wrong? What can you do better? So those are things that I want us to think about in the reflection. And if you could kindly put, if you kindly put that in the comment, that would be great. If you can, that would be great. And if you really just want to say, oh, if you don't want to go into that detail and if you just want to say, my 2023 was this is, if I am going to sort of name it, this is what I'm going to name it. That can be very great if we can do that. So for me, if I look back at my 2023, so I believe that I had three words that if I look at my 23, I would say. So first one word I would say is grateful. Gratefulness, because at the end of it, I'm grateful for where I am, both in my career, in my personal life, and in my spirituality. I'm just grateful for where I was in 2023. Doesn't mean that there could not be room for improvement, but first thing is gratitude. I'm just really grateful. I'm going to see. I'm going to watch the comment section if there's anything to highlight. But first for me is that gratefulness. So that's one word that I had. That's gratefulness. And then the second thing that the second word that I can use if I'm qualifying my 2023 without going into like deep dive details. So the second word that I will use is grace, because I felt like I gave grace, and grace not in, oh, I'm looking to God for grace, but grace in the fact that I allowed myself grace. Like I gave myself grace to do the things I could do, and the things I could not do, I just gave me. When you just say you give grace to yourself, because sometimes we are so hard on ourselves and we don't really just give ourselves that grace. But I know that in 2023, I really just gave grace to myself. I gave myself time to say, okay, I moved from one country to the other. Let me give myself some grace if I'm lagging behind on some things. I really give myself that grace, because for people, and I know that this happens to people that could be very, very ambitious. Sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. So I give myself grace. And lastly, and the last word for me for 20, the last word for me, just to be, if I'm reflecting on my 2023, so the final thing I'll say is stability, because it came from, okay, being grateful, then it came for, okay, I give myself some level of grace in some things that I should do that probably I'm lagging, and then finally it's just stability, me being able to come around to just be able to wrap up the year, and I feel stable in everything I am doing. So those are words, some of the things I'm going to use to qualify my 2023. So if anything resonated with you, if there's any word for 2023 that you want, or if there's anything that 2023, just even if 2023 show you shaggy, you can always like say it. And we are in a new year. And the good thing that I love about New Year, I really love New Year's. And the good thing I love about New Year's is it's like a new leaf. It's like a new page in the book, and the good thing is we're at the beginning of the year. You can always rewrite and rewrite your story. Like you can always move. Like I fondly say, you're not a tree. You can move. So this is a new year, and you can obviously we are, and that's why we are here. We are trying to start off. So moving on. Excuse me. Yeah. So moving on. So moving on to speak about vision board, like everybody talks about vision board, like everybody says this. People have different opinion about vision board. So what's the fuss about it? Why are we even doing this? Why are we speaking about it? What is it about this vision board? So let me tell you a story of how. And okay, because I'm not introducing myself anymore, but let me just quickly say this about myself. So I am an avid believer in the vision board concept. Like I believe it with the whole of my chest, with the whole of my being. And I'm not saying that because it feels good to say. I'm saying it because I truly, truly believe it. And I have been facilitating vision board for people in my community, for community like this in the last 4 years. I've done physical vision board, I've done virtual like this, and I've done workshops where we will have the paper and the cardboard thingy. We have done that, and I have done sessions where we are using virtual tools to just really do the vision boarding thing. So those are things that I have done in the past, and I've seen people, and I've seen growth. I've seen people that they'll tell me this works because I put it on my vision board. I just put it by my bed, and this is something I look at every day. And those are powerful. Like, it doesn't even matter whichever faith you belong. Science has shown. Before I go into the science, don't let me start talking about science. But report science things have, we've read it, we've seen it, that the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see at night, they all work, they go into your subconscious and they work. So that's somewhere where the concept of the vision. But before I go into that, let me tell you a story of how do I come about being this person that so much really just believe in the vision board concept. So a few years ago, I was at a crossroads in my I would say, not just only in my professional life, even in my private life. I was just, things were not unclear to me. It was just, I just recently moved countries, and I wasn't feeling even my own vibe. I wasn't feeling it, and I wasn't just feeling a lot of things both in my professional and in my private life. And I was then searching for who could help me. And if you remember, it was 5 years ago. That was like the boom. That was the period where every there was a lot of coaches everywhere. Like that, I would say that was like the boom of coaching. So it was such a lot of noise. But I knew that I didn't want that sort of noise. I just wanted something a bit different. It's not like I'm confused. It's just I could not just pick. I couldn't pick what exactly. I couldn't pick even my signal. I couldn't pick what should I be doing at this time. It was just confusing for me. And luckily, I met a mind coach. And that I'm grateful for that meeting, because it was that mind coach that sort of, it was that person that sort of introduced me to the concept of how you could train your mind, how it that can concept of training your mind, mindfulness, meditation, and vision boarding. So I'm like, vision boarding. For me, I was like, what's vision boarding? So that of course really triggered something in me. I was like, what's vision board? And that really that really caught me. And I went through that journey, and by sitting down, so the year after I sat down, the good thing is I met that mind coach towards the end of that a particular year. So beginning of the year, we did that. We did that ceremony, that workshop together. And it was the traditional cardboard, and I cut out things that I wanted to see, things that I wanted to really start to see in my life. And I was at that point, I was desperate. I wanted to see these things, like they have to manifest. So I did the cutout, hang that cardboard just by my bed. And if this was a workshop, I would have shown you that old cardboard. And I could tell you this has happened over the course of that season. And for me, it was just like, wow. So that power of looking, just bringing visuals to your goals, nobody can take that. I don't think there's anything more powerful in the world, on in humanity. Don't let me even just say one. I don't think there's anything more powerful in humanity than seeing your goals. You're seeing the picture. No, like I said, no matter the faith you belong, even one of the holy books said, write the vision, make it plain for the eye to see, so that who sees it can run with it. So, like, no matter the faith you belong to, it is so strong, it is so powerful. And I encourage everyone to really take it, like, put your 2 feet into the deep and just really come with me on this vision board journey, because I believe it so much. So, that happened to me, and that's my own story. And I did that exercise, of course, with the whole of myself, and I did the vision board, and I put all of the things I want. I stick it in that cardboard, and I hung it. And every day, imagine seeing the same image 365 days of the year. Every day you wake up, you're looking. So you sleep again, you wake up. And you know what what we see before we go to bed works in our subconscious. You see, so those were things that I do. And imagine it has even gone so good and so better, because now there are tools that could be on your phone. Do you know how many times we all pick up our phone every day? Do you know how many times we are also addicted to the phone now? Imagine having like your vision board as a screensaver of your phone. We pick up our phone every time, and that's just the image. Imagine that's the image just staring at you every moment you pick up the phone. So it's really so strong, it's really so powerful. It goes beyond what it just really goes deeply and beyond what we can really think of. And I encourage you, like I said, I encourage you to really come with me and really just jump into this with me and believe it so much. You see, the power of visuals, and this is why you will say, even in, and I'm going to just make an example. This is why in the world that we are now, people will say that, oh, you hear people saying, you know what, there's just, when things are happening around maybe social media, you will see people saying, I'm protecting my mental health, I'm just protecting myself, I don't want to see all of those things. The power, and that's talking about the power of visuals, the power of, you're seeing that thing in pictures. It's not, yes, words are powerful. I'm a word person, I love words, but imagine giving visuals to your word, giving, like, you're giving, it's like you're giving life to that thing that you believe in. It's really like extremely powerful. You're creating the image of what you want, so you're sending signals to your subconscious. It's not, it's like, and if you also want to, if for people that really like to say, that really like to relate things that they do with successful people, I can name you top rated successful people that they'll tell you they believe in the power of vision boarding. Oprah Winfrey is one of them. She's such a vision boarder. She believes in the power because it's just that, it's just that beauty in seeing, like, as you know, we can say as far as you can see, right? So it's that you seeing what is your goal. What's the goal? It could be like, oh, this year I want to write a book. Imagine sticking your that thing, that book picture. Maybe if you already have a cover, you're sticking it, and you're putting it on your vision board. This year I want to change my job. This year I want to lose X. This year I want to intentional parenting. And it doesn't just even have to be things that are financial. This year I want to make X. This year I want to be a thought leader. And you're putting that, and every morning you wake up, every time you go to bed, this is thing that is coming into your subconscious. It's like extremely powerful, and it's just so it's just so amazing. So I was, after saying that, so I will now move to speaking about I will move to speaking about the science, because I like to tell you about the science of I like to tell you about the science of the vision board. So have you ever noticed that sometimes you say that, you know what, I'm going to buy I'm going to buy a, and I'm going to use the example of my first car. I had a Honda Civic. The moment I said, I looked, and I said, I am going to buy Honda Civic is the car that I'm going to buy. It just looked like I stepped out, and everything I was seeing on the road is in fact blue Honda Civic. I won't forget. And everything I see on that on the road were blue Honda Civic, blue Honda Civic. So it just looks like, okay, what is it that I just started seeing blue Honda Civic? Is it that there were no Honda Civic like before? Why is it that I just started seeing it? Just, so there's something that, and I'm talking, and I want to use this. I want to tell you about the science behind it. You could check it out. It's available online. So there's something that is called the reticular activating system. So that is called RAS, and it's the network of neurons. They are located in the brain cells, and they are the ones that help us to focus. So immediately you say, I want to do this, and you keep saying it, and you keep saying it. It's just, that constant. Imagine every minute you're looking, every minute you're looking at this image of, maybe you want to go to an Ivy League school, and you've posted that Ivy League school graduation gown you've posted it in on your vision board. Imagine seeing that every day. So there is no way. So that reticular activating system is always going to prioritize that image. So when the image is prioritized in your mind, believe me, opportunities are always there. Like they always say that opportunities are always there. Opportunities are always there, but it's just us. It's just so that we don't see. But immediately you program your mind, and you program your mind, and you start seeing that, and you just focus on just that. You will just realize that all your neurons, they are just like, is prioritizing that information, and it helps you to just be like laser focus on what you want, and laser focus on those goals. It could be anything. I'm just making an example of, it could be anything. And I like to use an example of my blue on the CV because, and I didn't know this was years ago. I'm talking about maybe 15 years ago. I didn't know all of these concepts and I didn't know anything. I didn't know what this means, but it's just like I just recall. But doing this and doing having the conversation with that mind could just remember. Oh my God, I remember this my blue on that civic. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. It doesn't mean that there were more on the civic on the road. Believe me, they were the same number maybe the week before, but it was just like my neurons. There were all the cells in my brain, and it was that RAS is the reticular activating system at work because I just started seeing it. So imagine putting, imagine giving vision to your to-do list. I know everybody has a to-do list. I want to do this. I want to do that. Imagine giving vision to your to-do list. Just imagine giving vision to your to-do list. It's going to so much be magnet. It's going to be magnet. I know some people also call it value tagging. It's going to just come to you and is going to just come to you, and those are the things that are going to be in your subconscious, and they're going to be, and that will help you. So that will help you in achieving any goal that you want to achieve. It's just going to be easy. And another more thing that we have also done, I have also sort of refined the process of how I sort of tell people about vision boarding. So I'm going to come to that in a bit. Is there any question at this point? Do you have any question regarding the first about vision boarding? Do you have any question? Do you have any question? I like to see in the comment section if there's any question. Please let me know. Any question regarding what's the first the vision board? Any question regarding the science of it? Is there any question at all? Please do let me know if you have any question. Just taking a minute to look at the comment section. So if there are no question, at all, then I'm going to move on to the next thing. If there are no question, I'm going to move on to the next thing. Yeah, just a minute. I was just a bit distracted. So 1 minute. Let me move on. Just 1 minute. So yeah, now moving on to the next line. So we've spoken about the science. Yes. So now this is where me I personally love. This is the area that I personally love. So and this is what I say, what do you want? So we've spoken about, for me, we've spoken about the vision boarding, we've spoken about the why, the science. So now I'm coming to practical ways to say, I know some people say, yeah, but I did this vision boarding, nothing happened. Yes, I didn't achieve 50% of my goals. I still did not achieve fully of my goals. I still did not achieve fully of my goal, achieve 50%. What should I do? So I'll tell you what I feel that you're doing wrongly and what you can do to make it right. So I will tell you. So first, I want to say, what do you want from your 2024? You start from there. What do you want from your 2024? So what do you want from your 2024? Can anybody just say, what do you want from your 2024? What do you want from your 2024? Looking at the comment section, what do you want? I'll tell you what I want. Okay, so I'm going to always use myself as an example. I'll tell you what I want. So for me, I can tell you what I want for my 2023. So part of what I'm doing for my business is I'm going to build we're building an app. We're building an artificial intelligence app to help job seekers to refine their CV in 10 minutes. So that's my major project for 2023. So I'm going to use myself as an example because then you can always take what you want from there. So I'm going to use myself as an example. So if you ask me what I want for my 2023, aside all of the other things, that's my major goal for this year. So what I have done is, there's this quote that says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So what I need people to do different, or what I need you to do differently is you need to make sure that your goal is very is like smart. So when you're saying, when you're doing your vision board, first when you're writing what are my goals, what are going to be my goals for 2024, you have to make sure that it is smart. You have to extremely make sure that it is smart. And what do I mean by smart? Is specific, is measurable, is achievable, is relevant, and is time bound. You see that time bound thinking is where I've seen people sort of fall through, and is where I see that majority of people's goals are not being actualized, because we come into the year, yes, we're happy new year, January, boo, 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 boo. If you're a third person, you go to church, they tell you, what is it, your prayer point for the year? But we do one mistake. We don't say, I am going to lose 10 kg in between, I'm going to lose 10 kg in Q1, or I'm going to lose 10 kg. We say, I'm going to lose 10 kg before summer. Summer is July, August. Like, in fact, some people will argue summer is June, July, August. So, what you need to do, I'm going to lose 10 kg when? At the beginning of summer, June, you put it there. I'm going to get a new job. Yes, we are happy. I'm going to get it. This 2024 is my year. I have to get a new job. I'm happy for you. But you all know that getting a new job in January is different from getting a new job in December. Because if you get a new job in January, look at it, you will have sort of changed your income, elevated your career. But if you get a new, you can still get it. But if you get a new job in January, all of the fruits will come in 2025. So we have to be. So what I see that people don't do is making sure that their goals are smart, like very clear, like day, and smart and with time. So those are things that you need to do. Even when you're setting your goals for 2024, even when you're doing your vision body, it has to be. So what I do, and what I do when I do my vision body, I break the sheet down. I could show you, if anybody wants to see my whole vision board, I could still let me know in the comment section. So I sort of break the sheet down into quarters, because that's how I see it, into 4 blocks. And I say, obviously, I know that some of the things that I'm going to start in Q1 we still carry on to Q2 or Q3. I know that. But I want to achieve this, which means I probably want to launch. So, for example, for my 2023, it's very clear. Q1, Q1 is where I want to make sure that this app is launched. So the majority of what I'm spending my time, of what I'm doing, is specifically relating to that goal. Anything you see me do, it has to like I said, aside things that I already know, they are like part of me, like being here. I can close my eyes and I can talk about vision boarding, but the thing that what I'm going to achieve in this Q1 is clear: is this app must be launched, full stop. And then in Q2, again, I already know I then need to grow the number of this application to X. So, time bound, what I want is so clear that if I see opportunities that are leading or going to what I want, I can clearly plug it. If I see plugs that can help me with what I want, I can quickly align myself to it. So that's why it's so good when our goals are so clear. It's not it has, like I said, it has to be smart. We have to make sure that our goals, same thing that for us career folks, same thing that in your organization they tell you, set smart goals. If it's not smart, I don't want to. It's the same thing that your own, the generalization of all your goals, of what you want for your life, it has to be smart. You have to say, if you want to leave a job, if you want a new job, you have to be specific. If you want to lose weight, intentional parenting, what does that mean to you? What do you want to do? When you say intentional parenting, for you, does it mean that you tuck your kids into bed? Because it could mean another thing for me. What are the things that you're going to be doing to make sure that you realize that goal? So another thing, just gonna pop in, look at my slide. So another thing that when I say what do you want from your 2023 one, another thing that would help when you're setting that goal is, once you set the goal, then we now need to break it down. Can you guys hear me? Everything okay? Okay. Okay. So another thing, so as you guys can hear me. So another thing that we need to do, another thing that we need to do when we're setting our goals, or when we're setting our vision for the year, is the fact that you have to break it down into, in fact, I always say that break it down, like if your 5-year-old is reading it, they know that Because once you break it, when they are reading it, it's clear to them. You know, when they say, well, how you know you understand the topic is when you explain it to a 5 year old and they get it. So another thing that I say you should do is breaking that big chunk goal down into, and I'll use my same example. I've said that I'm launching the application in Q1. That's like my big mother goal. But the small things means that it means that when the small thing, I drill deep into that goal and I break it down. It's like, okay, I have to hire the team to work on it. We have to do the team to work on it must be hired by this time, because it's not rocket science. If you need 6 months to build a product and you are hiring the team in February, you already and you want the product to launch in March, you don't need. Some things are like, and I always say some things are principle, that if we follow the principle, irrespective of the faith you belong or how you want the heaven to suddenly open, they are principles, they are going to happen. So if you break it down, if you know that this is your mother goal and this is the end goal, you want to launch this product in March, it just means that first thing first, do you have the team? Do you have the concept? Have you written the requirement? Is it clear for you? Does your team understand what you're doing? Do they get the vision and all of that? What we are going. Sometimes you need partners. Have you gotten your partners that are going to support you in your launch? You know, those sort of very small things. It has to be clear. So it's not enough to say that lovely. I do my lovely vision, nice vision, but I hang it. That's amazing. That's like the step one. So we now need to go down. And this is where I see that people sometimes do not achieve their goals. You don't go down to breaking down your goals. Like I said, a goal without a plan is just a wish. You don't go down to say, okay, this goal now, these are the steps. By here, I'm doing this. By here, I'm doing this. You want to look for a job. Have you said, let's imagine you set the time by first semester, which is June. I should be in my new job. Which means that if you have a notice period of 1 month, you are telling me that you need to have a offer letter in your hand by May. June is when you want to be in your new job. It means that offer letter is in your hand by May because you have to do your notice. So those things are we have to confront ourselves with those things. You know, those things that we sometimes say it will happen. Yes, I mean at this stage, things are not going to fall in place if you do not put it like this has to be done by this. So if you know that you have to have an offer letter in your hand by May, and we're already in January, today is 27th of January. So it means that you know that I have to intensify my search. How am I searching? Where am I looking? What time am I dedicating every day? If I'm not getting if and you have to set it that okay in 2 weeks if I'm searching and I'm not even getting interviews on this platform, do I need to reassess? Do I need to look at my resume again? Do I need if I want to network, am I going for this? So how many networking event am I going to go? So you're not leaving anything to vibes and inshallah. Like you are taking it and you are doing it. So that's so I always say that yes, it takes a bit of work, but once you get your mind is already conditioned in a way that it will come easy to you. So that's another thing that we need to break our goals down into actionable plan and we say it's also going to you need to have time. And when am I going to do this? When am I going to do that? When am I not going to do that? So that's one thing that I want us to do very differently this year. And I want us to be able to so that we are able to achieve those goals. I don't want people to say, oh, I even attend Power Woman Network. Yeah, there was this speaker, she was talking about it, but I still don't feel it. No, I want you to say, I came here and this changed my life. And I'm telling you, if you follow all of these things I'm saying, and if you take this, you take it like if in school when we say we have a four core course, you take it like that course that is so valuable to you. You know that if you fail a four-core course, he's going to drag your GP. I don't know if anyone remember in school, we are always passionate about that. So you have to take it very seriously, and that's when the result is going to come. So I want you to take that very serious. So I'm moving on now. So I believe that we've said enough regarding how you can now set your goals and you can break it down, and now that can help you. So now the next thing I wanted to talk about is now building enabling system. And this is another thing that I see that doesn't allow us to function in the fullness of our potential or our capacity or realize our goals. Look, I can say this for free. Everything is just again, it's as far as we can see. The everything, and one of my recent favorite quotes is everything you want is equally obsessed with you. Like I recently just believed it because I've seen those things like, and I can give you a very good example. There was someone that I wrote down that I need to reach out to this person because this person is pivotal to what I'm doing in this season. And I wrote it down. It's on my vision board, and I'm looking and I'm looking. And randomly this person just personally reached out to me themselves, and it was, I mean, it felt like so surreal. And I'm like, and I asked the other person, you were actually, I mean, I look at your name every day that I'm going to call you. I was like, really? See, everything we want is equally obsessed with us, but it is just how far do we see, or how far do we want it. So for me, we need to build enabling systems to help us. And what do I mean by an enabling system? Could be anything. It's based on what you want to do at a particular time and what you're doing. So you need to realize, and there's a quote here that I have here by James Clear that says that you do not fall to the level of your goal. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. And one of the things that I do my personally that helps me at the beginning of every year, I've read that book like 1 million times. Like I just can I just pick up. I mean, I have it now. It's like an ebook for me. It's like an audio book for me. It just sort of helped me reset my year. It just helped me because at the end of the day, it's so everything I'm trying to talk about. You set your goals, you break it down. It all comes down to something, and it's habits, habit, habit, habit. See, give me a man that is so consistent with the habit. I can tell you that you already have a winner. The person, that habit is so like important, and that's for me. That's one of the enablers. So you said that you want to lose weight, but you don't have the habit of eating healthy. You don't have the habit of probably going to the gym or even having a work. How are you going to? How do those habits that you're doing every day? They will say that is equal to if someone that is every day taking a work, going for a run, going for a swim, or going to the gym. They will lose that weight faster than somebody that just woke up. You want to lose weight for summer, but you wake up. Somebody has started in January and they're doing it slow. It could be 30 minutes, but you wake up in June, do, and then you want to sleep in the gym. You want to become a gym rat. I can tell you for free that the person that started in January will achieve faster results than you because they've started and they're building habit. So enabling, so for me, habit is one of the very important enabling system that we need to build if we want our vision board to come to life, and if we want our goals to come to life. It's habit. Like you are always going to fall to the level of your habit, no matter how lovely the concepts of vision boards, no matter how you get into it, if you don't have the habit of doing all of the things that are behind it, like putting it where you can see it, having those goals break down, making sure that everything is supporting this goal, your habits are right, everything is right, just making sure it's not going to it's you will see your result, but you will not be able to see 100% results. I can tell you that it is very possible for you to list 15. I always keep my over the years, I always keep my goals to 9. Again, because of the app I use, I need to keep it that I can just keep it to 9. It's simple to track and it's just easy. But even if you have 12, you can achieve the 100% in all of your 12 goals if you follow all of the things that we said. I've seen people. So I'm not telling you things that are abstract. I'm telling you things that we've seen that I have personally seen in people that we have done workshops together, and it works. It's principle. And they always say that, see, if everything fails, you see principles works. And they work anywhere. So the same principle works in Nigeria, works in Canada, works in the UK. They work everywhere. So it is not location sensitive. It's not it's because it's because this works here. Is you as far as you're setting your own goal for yourself and in line with where you are, I believe that it will work. So what are enabling systems for you? You need to define that for yourself. Like one thing is for me is habit, and I think that that can be really universal. Everybody needs to get that in the habit of what do you want to do. And if it is and habit is if I use the example of the gym, it could be like you're looking for a job. You're looking for a job, but you don't have the habit of daily setting out time, even if it's 30 minutes, going online to check where are the opening roles and making sure you're reaching out to your connections to let them know that you're currently on the market or you're seeking new opportunities, and you're not doing that. You're not really networking, going out, letting people know, just maybe giving value out to people I know that there's a place of you're sitting down and a role will come to you. Yeah. But if you have a time, if you've set a goal and you have a time, you should go all out 100% chasing your goal. So if you're not doing that, you are not maximizing the 100% of the potential. Even if it happens, you are not, but you yourself, you know that you're not putting 100%. So another question that I always ask myself is, if I want, if and sometimes I'll be very honest, you want something, you put it on a vision board, but sometimes it's not happening. I'll be very honest, it's not happening. So I go back to ask myself this question: why is this thing not happening? Is there another way? Is there, am I doing it in the wrong way, or is there another way for me to do it? And I tweak the way, I tweak my approach. The goal remains the same. I just tweak the approach. That can happen. Maybe you're approaching it the wrong way. Maybe you're trying to build a product and you've not really done. Maybe the market research you did is not, it's not targeted at the right audience. So once you think, is there another way? And again, enabling system can be community. And I love what the Power Woman is doing. There's a community. Nobody stops you from asking a question. Oh, I'm doing something, and boom, this question. What do you guys think? Nobody's stopping you. You will see. So because sometimes we feel like, sometimes we always have blind spots, and we feel like we know. We can sometimes feel like this is my project. I know everything, but sometimes we don't know everything. And somebody can just drop something. It has happened to me a lot of times. And you're just like, wow, I never saw this from that angle. Community is one of the enabling systems for you to achieve your goals, and you should 100% tap into it, because it's, you're, if you're in the community, no, it's, it's free to pick people that you're going to maybe pay a fee to see them in their office, or pay a fee to have access to them. They are in your community, and once you drop it, and one thing about people is, once you drop something that resonate with them, they will not even know when they'll reply you and say, oh, you could do it like this, and I've done it, and things just light bulb just jump on you, and you're like, wow, I never saw it from that angle. You could tap, or you could sort of, tap from that wealth of knowledge, and that you might see it very differently, and that works. So for me, habit is one, community can be an enabling environment, that's two. There are tons of things that could be enabling environment. You're saying that you want intentional parenting. It could be like you just taking time to say that I was, and this one thing, I'm just using things that I have on my own board to really have this conversation. You could be like, from 7 o'clock every day, my gadget is out there. It's me time with me and my kids, and we are just really like rolling in whatever mode they're rolling, and we are just having fun. Even if it is 15 minutes every day, it doesn't, and that's it. And to be honest, 15 minutes is that 15 minutes you have used to sit down on Instagram and looked at someone else's life. You could, so it's really like, so it's not, we all, and I said, we all say, oh, I wish that we have more than 24 hours. Believe me, 24 hours that God has allocated to us is enough. It's enough, but it's just, what are you using yours? What are you using yours for? What am I using mine for? What system am I building? So if it is intentional practice, it could be 7 o'clock or 7:30, whatever works for you. I'm out of strolling Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is that you are, and I'm going to just go spend 15 minutes every day. Imagine spending 15 minutes every day with your kids. Believe me, it will make a difference. That playing, you will be shocked how they will connect with you, and how you will see things they do. You will be able to say, oh, don't use that language. Oh, don't, I mean, it's just even playing, rolling, you're knowing them more, they're happy, everybody's releasing. I mean, even for the children, for their brains, everybody's releasing the right hormones. It's just beautiful. So it could be that. But if you don't set out that 15 minutes, you're not even going to be able to say, what did I do with my face? So sometimes, and sometimes we get away with, what did I even do today with my time? I mean, after work, I finished work at 5. What did I do? It's already 9. We are doing things that could be. But if you have set out 15 minutes every day, non negotiable, every other thing in your life we sort of give way and adjust. I'm spending more time to really speak about this, to speak about this system, to speak about building and setting our goals in a smart way, because over the time I have seen data and I've seen statistics that this is where people fall short. This is where, by the time it's July, this is where by the time it's July, by the time it's June, people are saying, well, life is shaming shiggy. I'm now tired. Okay, it's because you have not really you have not really gone out to set smart goals, and you have not built the enabling system. So each goal we have his own enabling system. We have his own way you're going to set it that is going to be smart. They will always have it. They will always have it. So I'm going to move on now. I think that you get the point. So I'm not going to. So I'm going to move on now to what again is very important. So it's three important things that I wanted to share in this session and about the approach to vision boarding for your 2024. And one of them is the goal setting. The next is making sure the goal setting where you're making sure that you're setting smart goals. And the next is the building enabling system. So the final one that I'm going to share today is the final one that I'm going to share today is discipline. And you see this discipline. And I'm going to use two examples for you with myself to really be able to drill down the point. You see discipline, like people are going to want to derail you from your goal. And I'm not saying derail you in a bad way that they're asking you to come and do bad, crazy stuff. No. In fact, they are going to want to derail you in a good way. They are going to want to derail you in a good way. And but you are the one that are going to maintain your laser focus on your goals. Like people are going to come. They're going to come to distract you. No way. And I'm going to make two examples. So one example that that I'm saying they are good. You know that distraction is not just bad. They are good distractions. Distraction for good. I can even earn you money. But you know what you said because at the beginning of the year, when you set those goals, you already know what is important to you. So I'll make an example. So one of the technical person in my team came and said, "Oh, we need to update the website." It's a good thing. You're like, "No, I was on my own." She brought it up. "Oh, we need to update the website. I don't really like how is looking. With the new direction, our website should look a certain way." Right, true. I said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, so can we have a meeting next week, Monday, to talk about it?" I said, "No." Not because and she was shocked because she was like, "Oh, you always tell us to come up with new ideas. You always ask us to look into the business and see where we can come up with." I said, "It's true. You're coming up with good idea, but it's not the time. It's not the time. So it's lovely. We're going to redo the website, put it in Q2 because you see this Q1, the only thing, the only one number one focus I want to be seen and I want to see and I don't want any distraction is the launching of the app. Website is a beautiful idea, but I'm not going to do it now. Put it in Q2. I can see if I can manage it in Q2, but it's not, I'm not having any limit. And for me, that's proper. It takes discipline because the idea is good. It takes discipline. And there's another one that I'm going to say. Someone reach out to me. There is this. Somebody reach out to me. "Oh, are you aware that you could put as a speaker and as a leader, you could put your profile on X on this X. You could join this X community, put your profile on this X on their platform, and then when they have speaking engagement that aligns with what you're good at, they will call you, and of course they'll pay you, make money for it." Amazing idea. I said, "Nope." Why? I'm going to look. I said, "Let's talk about it in Q3. That's second semester." And for me, it looks like, oh, because if I put my profile now and they are calling me, I would have to take out of the time and prepare for the session, make sure that it's on point, make sure that I said I don't have the time. I don't have the time to look at it. I mean, it's because again, I'm realizing that we want so many things in life. I mean, we as again ambitious people, career people, we want so many things, but you cannot be in 100 places at the same time. That's the truth that I've come to realize. You have to schedule yourself. You have to say what's important to me. So if you are in a space that what's important to you is money, and there's nothing wrong. Oh, money can be extremely important to you at this season of your life. In fact, but you need to say what am I, and you have a lot of skills because people will tell me, in that I have so many skills, fantastic. But you need to say which of all these my skills are going to give me the most of the revenue, most of the resources at this season. You go for it. It might be like that. So you cannot say only you want to be thought leader. It's not that it's not impossible, but you want to be thought leader. You want to make money. You want to be, because some things will give you money not now. We might give you money in another 1 year, in another 6 months. And some things you need to do, they will give you the money now. Like maybe when I mean now, in between 1 to 3 months, or between with whatever season you're setting for yourself, you can get it. So if you know that, so that's why you have to be very honest with yourself when you're setting your goals, and that's why it has to be like a you thing. You just make sure that what I'm doing now, if it's money, you know that everything that you're doing now is what is geared at giving you the maximum of your revenue, and you're okay. But and that's what we do. We now allow other people to come and derail us. Oh yeah, and yeah, I know that we could be spontaneous. there's room for, yes, but what you're saying sometimes will make us rigid. What is in the place of opportunity? I agree with all of that, but you are not going to say yes to every frog that is being thrown at you if you already have where you're going. Well, you could say yes to something. Maybe if you look at your plan, you said, okay, maybe I could make room for it. But for me, it's just because, again, this year I want to spend, again, in parenting, I want to spend time with my kid. I have 3 children, so you already know that that's work. So I'm not going to say I want to do that. I want to learn this app. I still have my 9 to 5, by the way. So how many things? And I still do not want to be burnt out, because at the end of the day, I want to be alive and well, in good health, to be able to enjoy the results of all of this pot that I'm putting in my hand. And I still want to take out time to, because as you're growing older, you see, like, and for me, I'm seeing, like, if I don't sleep well, I see that it affects me, because, again, it looks like I'm growing old. So we have to, maybe what I would do in my 30s, in my early 30s, I can't do it anymore now, because, hey, so it's that consciousness to say, this is where I am now, and not to be ashamed to say this is where I am. I'm disciplined and laser focused. So the second one that I was going to say was, so somebody said, we will put your profile. It's an amazing opportunity. We probably hear me, but probably, because once you speak, they give you your money immediately. There's no go tomorrow and come back. But the application we are building, we still have to push for. We might not make money from that application till maybe Q4, but you know what? It's what I want to do now. I've made peace with myself that that's what I'm doing. So invariably, I'm saying that whatever revenue that whatever the revenue stream that I've already built for myself, it's okay for me. Even though it might not be, I'm not willing to add an additional stream of revenue, not because I don't want money, but because I don't have the time, I don't have the bandwidth, I don't have the space for it. And I know why. And again, the thing is, once you are able to do all of this, your why is going to be clear to you like day. And you're able to say, I know why I'm saying no to this now, because I'm saying yes to all of this that I've already planned. There is no way you do all of this. You know what your vision is so clear. You set your goals is so smart. You break it down into smaller particles. You are like, you build enabling system for each goal. They are enabling system, and you follow it, and you focus on your discipline. There is no it's impossible. I don't want to say even God cannot stop you, because you remember that when people were going to, I think it was in the Bible, when they were going to build the pillar, they were going to build a building up until to reach heaven. Even God knew that they could do it. He is the one that had to stop them, because he knew that it was possible, because everything was in sync and in line. So there is no way you build all of this, and you set and the principles are so right that you are not going to be able to achieve a 100%. So the goal for this year is whatever goal you set. My goal for this session and for this year, whatever, well, for any session I facilitate, I'm going to give what I feel like. Of course, I'm going to tell you about the vision board. I'm going to give you what I'm going to. I've told you the heart and the science of vision board, so you know that nobody sat down and invented it. It's even like, and when something is science, it's science. So, and then I'm also giving you this extra tips on this extra way to make sure, this extra resources to make sure that the goals are achieved. So there is no way you're going to do all of this and you are going to not be able to achieve 100% or 100%. Again, I'm deliberately saying it 100%, which means everything you said. There is no way you're not going to achieve it by on the 31st of December 2024. It is going to be impossible. It has to be like God Himself is stopping you, and maybe He's redirecting you to something else. That has to be it. So it's not possible for it not to be achieved. So having said that, any question on anything that I've touched on, because now I'm coming to my conclusion, and then we could take questions if we have any. So any question at this time? Let me just see. um so not no question. Okay, so this is fine. I'm just going to continue now. I'm going to just talk about my conclusion, and I'm going to just wrap up. And so I'm going to talk about my conclusion. I'm going to just wrap up. I'm going to say that for me, year in, year out, like I said, I believe so much. I believe so much in the power of. Like I said, I'm a word person. I used to be a writing person. If you see me, there's no way you're not going to catch me with a journal or with a notepad. But I've over the last 4 years, I've realized that now putting picture, putting visual to all of my goals, and really just putting it right where I could see it every day has helped me so much in achieving so much. So there's nothing that I do now There's nothing that anybody see me do now that I have not sort of envisioned or that I have not put in my vision board. It could sometimes it could be like 3, 4, 2 years ago I have done it. So it is coming now. And some things, and I'll be honest, some things are not some things will be in season and they are not going to be like time bound. And I also just want to put that out there for people. And when I mean, and you know that in season they could be different timing. So some things will happen to you in a season. You need to know that, and you need to be conscious, intentional, self-aware of everything you're putting to say, okay, can this truly happen? Not like looking for a job can happen in 3 months. So I'm talking about maybe big major life event. So, for example, if you say that you want to have a new child, you already know that that's like a 1 year project. So that's what I'm trying to say, that some things will happen in season, and some things that maybe you want to say, "Oh, I want to build a business." Some things will come. We sort of translate. They will translate from 1 year to the other. You need to know that as well. So I just wanted to conclude with that we have, and that's where you being very realistic with your goal comes in. So you know, and you are clear, and you are setting it in time. You can take the tip of really going back quarter. Some goals, of course, we go from one quarter to the other, as far as you know, and you're setting just you're breaking it into the smallest of the smallest of the smallest action, and then you're actioning it. Yeah. And that's why even when you do the vision board, you still need to have like a journal where each goal you are breaking it down and you're giving it space. So you're not giving any room. You're not. See, there's no room for blind spots. Obviously, if that happens, blind spots. If you have 12 goals, blind spot will not happen toward the 12, but you are giving yourself enough room to make sure that you achieve 100% of your goal. There is no room for blind spot. So that's really what I want you to take from here, to say that you are facing it head on. You are taking it like a job, like a chore, and you are going head on. It's not, you are not allowing life to happen to you. You are happening to life. Like that's sort of it. I think that I have a question. So that would be my conclusion. And I really want this session to be life changing for someone. Like I always say, if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 person that can really listen to this and take it on, and then go back and use all of the tips we've spoken about to really realign and redefine the way they are setting their 2024 goals, it's enough for me. So I know that there are some questions. Let me see.
Thank you so much, Oyindamola. In fact, my notepad is already full with all your tips and how to navigate here. So before we go into conclusion, I'll just allow you to take some of the questions. There is one here that says, "What tips would you recommend to ensure an execution of your goals?"
Good,
Tips here.
good, yeah, good question. And is one of the things that I was speaking about. So one of my go-to tips is for you to is for you to build habits. Nobody can go wrong with the right habits. Like you can't go wrong with habits. So the execution of your goals is tied to the habits that you have built, and that's it. That's really it. You are saying it could be like you are in the dating pool now, or you are recently in the dating pool, or you find yourself in the dating pool, like you want to start dating, and one of the things you could do. So, what's the habit that you're building? Are you making yourself? Are you really like whatever way you go? If you're a church person, are you are you really visiting? So, is it that you just go to church after the grace, you carry your Bible, you are jumping out? Are you really like, maybe it's not showcasing? Is Are you part of like a workforce? Because and then they will have workers meeting, they will have all of those things. Or are you going out? If they say there's a wedding, are you going to say, me, I'm not buying that shop, you, I'm not there for that. I'm not saying you should waste your money. Even me, I don't like to buy shogi, but are you really like, what I'm trying to say is, are you really sort of are you really sort of, because I'm not a fan of dating apps, so are you really putting yourself, are you going out, are you mingling? If it's, or you're in your house, you're in your father's house, and you want somebody's son to come and fish you out. Hey, so that's what I'm saying. You need to build the right habit. So with the right habit, there's no goal that cannot be executed. With everything we've said, you set the goal, put it down into action plan, and you have built the right habit that every day you are making sure that you're doing. There's no way it will not happen.
Thank you so much. So, building habits. So another question is, um you speaking on periodic evaluation of our goals, right? And how often we should do reevaluation before the year ends. So, more like, I've written 9 things out, right? And I've broken them into maybe quarterly achievements. How do
Yeah.
I go back and do my reevaluation? Because again, things happen. So, what
Yeah.
would you advise?
Okay. So what I would say, and that's what I do is I look at it every month. And now why I say that is, yeah, I look at it every month. And why I say that is I don't want you, there are some things that you can look at in month one. Why do I have to? For example, there's some things you can look at in this January. Why do you want to wait till March? Like I would have said quarter, but no, monthly. And you see, all of this concept, there's a background noise. I don't know if it's from me. So all of this concept that we are talking about, you will see that some organizations they use it. Organizations now do monthly check-ins. You know why they are doing it? They don't want it to be December. And you're telling them, you see, I had a blocker in there was a so they want to, that money that they are paying you, they want to squeeze the best out of it, and that's why they are doing your monthly check-ins. They don't want to wait because they don't want you to come with stories. Same with your own personal goals. So if whatever you set monthly, the way now, next week now, I think the month is, look at, this is the fastest January ever. So next week now, you can cross your leg, look at your. It doesn't have to be anything. You can just, instead of spending one time watching a Netflix, you can say, okay, what I said, I've said this, I've said that. Where am I? Some maybe you've not started, maybe it's not time. You've put it, but the ones you've started, why happened? Where am I on this? Do I need to change this? As you are doing that, things will come to you to say, okay, I need to talk to maybe I need to change, I need to talk to this person. Maybe it will come to you, but if you do not review, like they say that what's not measured is not done. If you do not review, so you have to monthly, I'll say that have monthly check-in with yourself. It's even sweet if you have like a best friend that you guys are holding yourself accountable. Oh my god, that's like sweet like butter.
Thank
Yes,
you.
monthly
In the
check-in.
comment says they do
Very
quarterly check-in, but monthly is the best.
yeah.
Okay, I think we have one more question that says, what are the practical steps to take when creating a vision board after you have decided on your goals? So, like breaking it down into, I think maybe that's like the pain for a lot of people. It's easier to say this is what I want to achieve. Breaking it down and monitoring it might be where a lot of people get to miss a lot of things. So, how do you advise that this is being navigated?
Okay, that's a very good question, and thank you for asking that. So please, I want to say on this call that writing your goals down on a book, like I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that, and vision board are not the same. Please, let's first of all sort of get that and let's have peace with that. So first, you've written your goals down. You now need to, so to now do the vision board, you now need to say, okay, I want to, let me take an example of 9 things. I want to, I can, let me find my whole vision board. It's somewhere here. If I can just show it, if you can see it, I will try and find it. But let me just explain. So you've now broken your goals down into, I want to achieve this. You will find a picture that sort of, you want to buy a house, go and find a picture online of a house, maybe all this new estates that they will have for sale, or or just a house. You put it. Wow. You want to have a new baby, find a picture of a baby. You want to go abroad location, put it. You want to, so all of those things you are now putting it. So you will, once, let's imagine you put that on your vision board. You will now take your journal, a book, a plain one, maybe for the year. Goal one is to buying a house, because now break that buying house into, that's where you break it into smaller bits. To buy a house, have you thought of what area do you want to buy the house? And I'm going to use an example because I live in the UK. So you want to buy a house in the UK. You live in the UK. So what area? What sort of area do you want? Is it where you live, or you've heard that they are new built in some area? Is it a new build? You will now say, okay, there's nothing wrong with you to say, okay, taking a drive. For example, where I live now, there's always a lot of new build. It can be taking a drive to see all of the new builds, to just see. That's you bringing that vision closer. You will not take a drive round. Okay, how much? So once you take a drive, you see the name of all of those companies. Okay, now, so taking it one thing by taking a drive, second, contacting all of the developers to know the price. Or when are they doing, what do they call it? They call it house showcase. You want to go and use your ICD. So those are attending all of the house showcase. Now, where are you going to get the money from? If you, of course, you're going to do mortgage, your own portion, because you need to have like your own 10%, and depending. Where do you have it in your bank account? Or are you going to, do you, if you already have, if not, what are you going to save to get there? So when, okay, based on where you stand, if you have it now, bravo. But if you don't have it, it means that you have to save for, how many months do you have to save for you to get your own down payment? Is it going to be 6 months? Is it 8 months? So it means that you cannot buy the house today. So it means your house project is a project for August, but you're not going to get to August. You're not going to now be doing all of it. That's where burnout comes from. You are going to break it down into, first of all, where. By you moving around, you could decide, it might be like you wanted one area before, but by you seeing, oh my God, they're doing a new build here. Maybe this one. By you talking to the developers, they will be the one to chase you when it's ready. Now you're going to now look for the money. And then when the money comes in August, it's not that August, you are just setting the plan. The plan is ready. So that's how you break. So first you set your goals, you put it on a vision board, and you now come back and break that goal into smaller action plan. That's when it's going to get done. So even if you don't do all of this, you can have the money in August. God forbid somebody is going to come with family problem. You're going to ship your money to them. But if you already have plans, that money is like it's gone, because you that you have gone to view house, somebody will come and ask you to give the money. You're not giving a kobo. You will just say I don't have, because you've already planned for the money, even though you are just receiving it. So that's how you break it down into really smaller action plans to enable. So those action plans they are enablers. They are enabling you to be able to achieve your goals. And that's it. And that's what we want. So that's how I do it. And that's why I encourage people to do it.
Thank you so, so much. This has really, really been very, very helpful. We've taken a lot of notes. There's something I also want you to touch on briefly, which I believe has been a lot of people's issues. So I like the way you use the illustration of buying a house, right? You put it in your vision board. I want to buy a house. I want to save towards the down payment, because obviously you don't have the cash to buy a house, right? But I've seen and I've heard a lot of times people say, "Oh, I'm not able to achieve this because maybe the vendor was not accepting, like the pricing." So, in the place of being realistic with your goal, I,
Yes.
I I really want you to touch on it, because I feel that is another line item people don't come to terms with, to say, "I really want to buy a house. I live in Nigeria today. My income can only buy me a house in, say, um somewhere around Surulere or somewhere around Mowe. But I've written a vision goal that I want to buy a
Like,
house." Exactly. Right? So, how do people come to terms with the reality of what your vision goal should be doing for you? Because if you're actually realistic to say this is what my finance can cover, because then you will do your research based on how much I'm earning. This is so. How do you advise that people are able to navigate that piece? There's a bit of what I want versus what I can afford. It is good to believe, but again, how do people articulate themselves to be able to come to terms to say this is what I can afford right now? How do they go about it?
good, very good question. And yes, especially for in court, we faith people. It's okay. I want to push myself. I want to push my faith. But at the end of the day, you have to be realistic with your bank account. So different ways you can do it. So first is the vision of buying a house. So you have, and that's where the space of setting smart goals comes in. So first, if you can say that, no, my next level, I cannot be traveling back to. And I always say that, see, everybody's excuse is valid though. Even if it doesn't align with you. The fact that I cannot be going, but where is Ogun State? Now can I have a postcode of Ogun State? No, which is very valid. So you need to decide where Lekki, is it that you just want to go this way? Because Lekki is not just only Lekki one. You can go down, 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 maybe Lekki. But let's even imagine that this person say, no, I cannot still go past Ikate, which is third roundabout. If I recall very well, Ikate is third roundabout. I cannot, you don't have money, but you cannot leave, you cannot go after third roundabout. There are a lot of things that, so first you have to be realistic with all of your goals. It has to be smart. And because, so you have to decide your income. You already know what your income is, even if God is going to help you. Do you want God to help you to change your income level? And then that means your goal for now is to change your job, not to change, not to, because a landlord, I'm not going to build my own house in Lekki, and because you are praying 7 days a week, I'm going to put my rent down because of you. Because I'm also praying the way you are praying. So It's your goal now is to change your job so that you are able to afford the house of your dream or the it's valid. But you have to be realistic that I can't afford to have a house in Lekki now. So I will rather pray or I rather do, so the goal for now, the vision for now is to change my job so that my job is going to help me to be able to the new job will give me the income that will match my lucky budget and you are okay. So it means your vision for house is in maybe 2 years and not now, and that's valid. And some people you will not even be changing your job because if you are like not to put any skills down, if today you are still like maybe you are like in a bank and you are still part of like the tailoring, it means that no matter how money you are earning, it might not even be enough for the house down payment. So does it mean that your goal now is to learn an additional skills that will be able to help you up your income that will in turn allow you to be able to afford the house. So that's why I say that some goals, some vision are for a season. And in a season, there are different timing. So it could be like, see, this time in this season that I am, I need to first of all upskill myself. Then I'm going to get a good job. Then I'm going to buy a house. See, once you are very, very self aware and you are realistic with yourself and with your goals, nobody can put you on a high jump because you have already, what I'm going to come and put you on, you have already thought it through. That's why, and you already know, you already know if somebody come and call you to come and go on a maybe their parent wants to want to have their own birthday in another country, they're asking you to come and spend more money, you already know your answer is no because you are saving your own money to be able to so it's going to be so clear. And once we start with being very realistic and being very clear and being smart with our goal, it's going to be so clear like day what we should be spending our time doing in a particular season and what we're not going to spend our time doing. It's so clear. So that's how I would reply to that.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. In fact, I think the only thing that is left for you now is just to show us your vision board, right? Because
Yeah,
you've
yeah, yeah.
really
Let me
given
let
us
me
a
tell you.
lot.
So this is my very, 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 I'll say very, very old vision board. So it's so old. So and I like that you read this is very old. This is 4 or 5 years old. I had it down here because I want to remove all of this. I want to use the same board, by the way. So I like that when you spoke about my profile, you spoke about my SPHRI. So as you can see that it's there. So it's there a long time ago. So
So it was part of your first vision board to say these are the things I must achieve at.
yes, so these are like my yeah. This was the one I did when I just got into the concept of vision board. So you can see that my SPHR that you mentioned that is now I can't remember the year that I did the SPHR is was on it, and this time I didn't have it. So to be a thought leader was on it. It was on my first vision board. So, of course, to bloom, to be an exceptional talent, to be a global business leader, a woman with a voice is the definition of a strong woman. And of course, my faith, I'm a faith person, so my faith is always at the center of any of my vision board. So to have a baby girl was on my vision board, and at this time, it says I wasn't pregnant, but I wanted to have a girl child, but I end up having a boy child. But now I have a girl child. I'm just trying to say some things will be in season. So
Mm.
this is there, and yeah, this one. So this is family. So all of those things. So taking control, innovation, obviously money is part of it. So all of this, you see. So they are like things that and you can see that they see a lot of space to put. They are not even full, but
Add
I
things to.
yes, so but for me, like I said, I've made peace with myself that I cannot be in 1 million places at a time. So I've made peace with it. And now, this was a few years ago, and this is like how many things, this is a lot. So now all of my goals they're not more than nine. So if you are more than nine, suddenly I will find something to remove that. It's not the
Wow.
time. So they're not more than nine because they have to all be achieved. They're not more than nine.
So what I hear you say is for you to be setting realistic goals, when you have too many things,
You are
15 to
spreading yourself too thin, in my
mm,
opinion. In my
because
opinion.
your person will not have the bandwidth to achieve everything,
Yes.
right? And I also like the fact that you used yourself as example in a lot of points where you mentioned your I think your staff reached out to say, oh, let's revamp the website. But because it was not part of the goal at
Mm.
that time, you were disciplined enough to say, you know what, I hear you, let's move it. I think that's one key thing that I'm taking away from this session. The discipline that when you have set this goal, right, there'll be so many distractions, but the ability for you to stay on course
Yes.
is what
Mm.
helps you to achieve the goal. So thank you
Yes.
so much. Just doing some recap. Ensuring your goals are smart is very key.
Yeah.
Ensuring that it is time bound, and then breaking it down into milestones, achievable milestones. Because again, I can say I want to buy a house, but in what area? What's my budget? What's the tenure? Those are these little bitty things that I think a lot of us always miss out
Yeah.
in the details of how we want to achieve things. Thank you so much, Oyinda. We'd just like you to give us like some takeaway notes to say, now that we have ended this session, this is what you want us to take away from this Start Right session today.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, really, thank you so much. So, for me, what I wanted everyone to take away is to go back now and make sure that you're sort of having in with a fresh eye. I want you to go back and look at all of the goals that you set and be honest with yourself. You know, you are by yourself. Nobody is going to beat you. Now, say which of all these goals, and obviously you need to stretch yourself. So don't take easy ones. Oh, you stretch yourself. So which of all these goals do I want to focus on in 2024 that I know that I will achieve? No story. And then once you again stretch yourself, but don't take easy goal like I'm going to wake up and go to work at 8 o'clock. You should be doing that anyways. So goals that will still stretch you and you will set it, and then once you do that, you do your vision board. It could be on the app. There are apps that you use now to do it on the phone. And then you do that, and then you come back to your journal and write down small action plan for each one so that it helps you to achieve it. And you make sure that every month you're reviewing. It just helps you to achieve it. So I really want everyone, I hope that I want everyone to put their 2 feet into the waters of vision boarding and just really take it and start right with it. And I believe that if we start like this, because that's all what this session should be, we're starting right. I feel like if we start right with all of these tools, with all of these resources, it's impossible for it to be December and then we are like, what that? What did the time? Everybody saying, where did the time go? But the time is going. So that's what I'll say.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful session today. In fact, I've taken a lot of takeaways from today's session, and I believe all our audience have taken a lot out of it. Even though I had an idea, I have an app, but to be honest, I don't think that I have used it to the best that I should have. But with this session today, I now realize that there's so much I should be doing, breaking it down and doing that consistent monitoring. I think a lot of us will just create that this thing and just like, okay, I have a vision board. I'll go back to it at my own time. So setting that periodic review is also going to help us to know where are we, at what point in time do we need to reevaluate any goal, so that at the end of the year we don't ask ourselves and say, wow, it's December already and really I wanted to do this but I couldn't achieve it maybe because we were not able to track. Thank you so much, Oyinda. It was really great having you here. And I'm very certain that very soon we were going to invite you to another of our Power Woman events.
I
We
know.
usually
Thank
have
you.
a lot of events, cut out through the year. So please be expecting our invites. We're very
Thank
much glad to
you.
have you on board. Thank you so much. And to our audience, I really do hope that you've had a wonderful time with us today on this Start Right webinar. The essence of doing this is to make sure that your 2024 is well planned and you have all it takes to achieve those goals. Be realistic about it, set smart goals, ensure that it is time bound, and then break it down into achievable milestones so that you don't go and start what you cannot finish, because that is what it's going to be. And and we believe with all this, 2024 is going to be greater and better than 2023 for all of us. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest
Thank
of your
you. Take care. Thank you.
day.
Bye. Bye.